All right, so LaTrobe University Sports Park, and particularly the stadium, it's a master plan development designed to bring together people for their love of sport. We started off this project with a master plan for the wider sports park itself, and then actually got into designing the sports hub, which has been renamed as the stadium. And it's really there to bring together three major brief components of the co-location of the sport, indoor and outdoor teaching and academia, the collaboration between academia and industry, and also community. So the building is used outside hours for the community, and it's been partly funded by local councils as well. Context, we won't go into this in great detail, but there is, because it's part of the master plan, there is the existing quite unique circular campus at LaTrobe, developed in the 60s. The sports park sits across Kingsbury Drive. It did partially exist, and this was part of a master planning redevelopment. We took some guiding principles along with us, as we do, in terms of making sure that we were responding to the university campus itself, keeping an address and identity. We want permeability, visibility into the project, connection and accessibility, integration with the landscapes, obviously a major landscape project outside the building, and then flexibility, functionality and future-proofing. So we looked at the existing pink circle, which is the circular campus, the sports neighbourhood, and what is to be a future arts neighbourhood, and placed the project right at the nexus of those. We took what was an original master plan with multiple buildings, concentrated those into a single building, which sits here, grey building up the top, along the main axis leading to that circle, which is near the agora, the centre of the campus. Getting into the detailed components of the project itself in terms of the building, we had outdoor sports, we had indoor sports, a series of indoor courts, and then we had admin, teaching and research. And we located those and co-located them around a public entrance space. But the big move was really this connection between indoor and outdoor, and indoor and indoor. And also, just looking at the expansion, we designed to be able to expand in both directions without undoing the operation of the current building. So in the future, the campus is planning to expand this building without undoing the good work to date. So at the end of the master plan, we ended up with this diagram. We've got a teaching, research, laboratory bar in the red, linking out to the sports field, indoor-outdoor flow, and a series of courts. It's a future teaching expansion. And then looking back, the link from the campus, the visual connection and physical connection to and from the campus, which we strengthened as part of the master plan. So this is where the building sits today. You can see the large solar array on the roof as part of the 6-star Green Star rating, first building of its type. The connection to the outdoor fields, the synthetic pitch here, the other oval, and the small pavilion, which we already did as part of a previous project. Looking at the planning, we've got 6 courts on the east of the building, the research bar here, which includes indoor running track. All the materiality is the same as the Olympics. There's force plates which allow people to kick balls inside, straight to outside, and actually be filmed and tested as well. And sitting on top of that bar is classrooms, staff and sporting tendencies. So all connected physically and visually with each other. So a lot of sport on display. The big move once we get into the architecture, which you will have seen, is the canopy. It is, I guess, the address, the identity of the project. It's a warm and welcoming gesture. It picks people up as they come towards the building and sends them to what is very obviously the entrance point. It's also designed as an 11-metre cantilever. It's designed to shelter for large events. People can gather outside, but also a shading device. There's a lot of glass on that north as part of the strategy to get as much natural light as possible but also to enable that, the major shading device. So there is a warmth to the materiality, linkage back to the campus and to the landscape. These are very early photos. All these photos taken during COVID, unfortunately, so devoid of humans.
Everything's empty.
Architects, buildings with no people in them, but this one works better with people. And then the real other beauty of that major glass wall is sport on display. So activity visible from the outside in and vice versa. And you can see also some of the operable louvers. The facade is all linked up to the BMS in terms of natural ventilation, which is one of the ways we managed to get our 6-star Green Star. And then looking at the massing of the building, we really, you can't avoid 6 basketball courts. It's going to be a big box. So we really tried to devolve that by sculpting each elevation differently and adding these fins, which are actually a value management exercise. But they were an applied fin, any colour we wanted, any space that we wanted, and they really create a whole texture and dynamic to the building and bring a human scale. So by kind of trying to really, I guess, sculpt the box as much as possible, we've actually created quite a friendly, welcoming building. Moving to the interior, the courts on the right, there's 2 identical halls essentially. You can see the natural ventilation, louvers, the indoor-outdoor views, the glazing and natural light, as well as the skylights. And then the main entrance hub, you can see the canopy running through, connecting and collecting people into that space. 2 stories of teaching runs off behind this to the right, and again, designed to expand behind us without interrupting any future plans. The key kind of grunt of the building in terms of what the client was really keen on is all of these other spaces, which are the research, biomechanics laboratories, very specialised spaces, highly serviced, and including a world-class fitness facility. You can see the running track, part of it there, it actually cuts off between the 2 spaces. And then I guess the other elements that led to, this is the roof, obviously 500 kilowatts of PV. It actually generates power back to the campus. So it's a net producer of energy. And there's also rainwater harvesting. You see those little tanks there, massive amount of rainwater harvesting, large roof, natural ventilation, massively insulated, etc. But I'll talk more about that at the sustainability. So that is LaTrobe Sports Stadium. Thank you for your attention.